Free Intelligent Conversation, also known as Free IC, is our way of encouraging meaningful face-to-face conversation into this world. More important than the collected information we all have, we believe that when these unique perspectives are shared amongst people, that is when intelligent conversation takes place. Free Intelligent Conversation is a movement dedicated to starting conversations between people of different perspectives and breaking social barriers. Now, when you go to post up for Free IC, you want to pick a place that has a lot of traffic. You want to pick high traffic areas where there's people around, because first of all, you're out there to talk to people, and you also don't want to pick a place that's going to jeopardize your safety. When you are holding your sign and you're on the sidewalk, make sure you stand on the side of the sidewalk, to the side. You don't want to be in the middle, you don't want to be in people's way, and if you're to the side, when people come to talk to you, you know that they came to approach you and they're not talking to you just because you were in the way and they couldn't get around you. When you're holding your sign, there's going to be times where people aren't talking to you, and these times are going to feel way longer than they actually are. And you can stand out there for 5 minutes and no one talked to you, but it'll feel like 20 minutes have gone by because so many people have walked by you. When that happens, stay encouraged, don't look defeated, and look personable and approachable to all the people walking by you. I think the longest I've stood out there and had no one speak to me for is 1 minute and 43 seconds. So people are usually very interested. Just know that it sometimes takes some time. Also, when people are walking by you and you hold your sign up, you can see people who are on the fence about whether they're going to talk to you or not. You can see them walk by you and go, and just encourage those people to talk to you. Just say, hey, I'm willing to talk. And most of the time, those people will come by and find you anyway. Now, starting a conversation is kind of up to you and your personal style. Me, I like to start with the question, so I'll use a question like, if you had 20 minutes and a megaphone and all 7 billion people of the earth were listening to you, what would you tell them? Or another question I'll use is, if you knew you were gonna die at 12 o'clock, what would you be doing at 11:45? And those kind of questions get people thinking, kind of get the ball rolling. I know that there are other people who prefer to just let the other person talk, and they'll say, so what do you want to talk about? They'll say, okay, so what have you been going through this week? What's something you've learned? And how you start the conversation is kind of on you. Just remember that Free IC believes that everyone is intelligent and everyone has a perspective. So sometimes you're gonna have to drag it out of people. Sometimes people are gonna say, oh, I don't know, I don't do anything cool, I don't do anything interesting, or you're gonna think I'm boring or whatever. And just remain interested in these people's lives. Encourage them to, no, you do something. What is it you do? Tell me about where you're from, tell me about what you do, tell me what that was like, etc. When you have a conversation, remember that there's no limit. There's no limit on topic, and there's no limit on time. I've spoken about Power Rangers, shoemaking, politics. Remain interested. Sometimes people are gonna ask you questions about current events. They'll say, oh, so what do you think about this happening overseas? And if you don't know, just say I don't know. It's better for you to say I don't know than try to make up something and make yourself look like a fool. And most of the time, if those people are asking you about that, they have their own opinion that they're more than happy to share with you. When you're having a conversation, sometimes you'll watch people kind of line up behind you or the conversation you're having. And these people are like, they're kind of curious what's going on, or they're waiting their turn next, whatever. And if the conversation you're having isn't too personal, I usually just encourage the people to join the conversation. When you are having conversations, you also have to be able to read when a conversation's dying. And sometimes I've watched people go out there and they're standing out there like, so what do you think? So yeah, what are you gonna do? And you're looking at your time, people are looking at their phone trying to make it not so awkward. When that happens, I mean, just be willing to say, okay, it was nice speaking to you. I'm gonna continue Free ICing or having a conversation. Don't be afraid to end conversations when they're going nowhere. Whenever you're done with the conversation, always encourage people to join the movement. A lot of people will say, oh, this is such a cool thing, this is a cool whatever. Just tell them, hey, if you want to be a part of this, you can go download a sign at freeic.org and do this in your neighborhood, in your area. After every conversation, we ask people to take a picture. And the reason we do that is because we don't want anyone outside looking in at Free IC to be able to say like, oh, this is not my thing, or this is not something I would want to do, it's not my type of thing. Because by having this pictures of everyone we've ever spoke to, people can go online and see the different types of people and say, okay, these kinds of people, oh, they have old people, they have young people, they have black people, they have Hispanic people, they have white people, they have all types of people. So no one can use the excuse, oh, this is not my type of thing. Because of that, we ask you, when you do ask those, be intentional and make sure you try your best to take good pictures. Also, it's a nice place to bring people back to after the conversation. Say, hey, go look at the photo album we put up at the end of the day. People come back, you may see someone, they may tag you, oh, hey, I just spoke with Kyle, I'm wondering, just tell them I had a great conversation, blah, blah, blah. And it's another way for you to make contact with people. Because of that, we ask that you be intentional about taking good pictures, because all these pictures end up on the internet. Sometimes people are gonna walk up to you and they're not gonna want a conversation. They're just gonna say, hey, can I just take a picture of you? And tell them, hey, that's fine. Just hashtag FreeIC on any social media that you put it on. Sometimes you'll see people in the corner of your eye or where you're standing trying to like sneak a picture like this, taking their phone out, trying to like pretend or just stand here and try to get you in there. And when that happens, just call those people out and say, hey, if you want to take a picture of me, I'll square up and take a picture, because it's better for you to take a nice looking picture than for them to get whatever. And whenever that happens, tell them to hashtag FreeIC on social media. It's just better for both parties that way. Dress like it's your first day of college, because you don't want to look too bummy, because there are a lot of people out there via circumstance, homeless, and you don't want to look too standoffish, because you want to be approachable and you want people to feel like you're someone they already know. More importantly, the best advice I can give you is to just have fun. Remember that you're just having a conversation, and that's something you've been doing all your life at this point. And FreeIC is that simple. It is just having conversations with your neighbor.